Okay, all good.
There you go.
Yeah, we're all good.
To talk about Abbey, we're going to have to go back to 8th grade. When we first saw her, she threw with such passion. She impressed me. And all the other girls on the team had a nickname for her, the Angry Elf, because she threw with such fierceness. There was like that will to win, which only like those great ones have, that will to win. And so Berwick was her first test. Up to that point, maybe she threw 109, something like that, and she was facing her nemesis because she went with them all through these 4 years. She won, they won, but in this particular 9th grade season, they threw 118 and something, and her best at that point was 109, and she came on through 119. And from that point on in that season, she never lost. She never lost in her freshman season. She won every invitational. She went on to win districts.
That freshman year, did you know she had 118 in her or something, or did that surprise you, or did you think, hey, she's going to get there because she's competitive?
That kind of surprised me, but then at that point I knew there was no stopping her, because if you can, gain 10 feet within, a week, there was a lot more to come, and there was.
Hazleton Area High School senior Abbey Hengst says the possibility of one day becoming a NCAA Division I athlete started to become very real the summer before her sophomore year. She was coming off of an 11th place finish in Javelin at the AAA level in the state, and her throwing coach Nick Gaudiano says she was throwing bombs during summer workouts. Then came the spring of 2020 and the COVID-19 pandemic. Hengst had her sophomore season canceled. Her junior season was also in doubt after an injury during a softball game over the summer.
So she tried to work through it. At one point, she told us, she said, could I just be a manager on the team? Because I just don't know if I can throw. But there again, when she saw, the kids on the track, that spark came. And she worked hard. And when she got to states, she was the next state champion.
Her senior season seemed like it was going off without a hitch until...
At Berwick a couple of weeks ago, somebody walked by her and stuck the javelin in the ground, but her foot was there. So it went in her toe, but as they say, 3 days later she was throwing.
You can't stop Abbey Hengst, even if she's literally been staked into the ground. Her passion and her will are too strong, and she makes sure to share that with others.
For example, tomorrow there's a junior high meet. Where will Abbey be? She won't go home after practice. She stays there and helps officiate the junior high meet.
What else can you say about an athlete that's won pretty much everything she can during her high school career? Anything else about Abbey I left out? Did we cover everything?
I think that about does it. Like I told Steve Stallone from the Standard Speaker, heart and guts. That's her heart and guts.
I talked with Coach Gaudiano, and he said, well, I could fill in the blank. He said blank and guts, and that's Abbey Hengst. Do you know, he always describes
Heart.
her as?
Yeah.
Heart and guts is what he said. Would you agree with that assessment? Does that make you proud? When you hear him say that, would you agree, and does it make you feel good?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think a lot of it does come from the heart, and I am very honored that he says that about me. I truly... That coach has changed a lot for me, and he's definitely been a huge part of my life, and I definitely say he's also got the heart and guts as well, so I get it from him. I definitely say the biggest lesson I learned is that even in the lowest parts, you got to find something that keeps you going, and you got to find the good out of it. Because, like you mentioned, I never expected to get stabbed in the foot this year, and I've had a split finger all year, and it just seems to keep coming. But through it all, you're just trying to find something good out of it.
Do you think that makes you a better athlete because you've had these things happen?
I think it definitely was in both situations, learning how to deal with it and understanding that if I could get through one of those things, I can get through many other things as well.
What do they like about you? I mean, obviously I think people say, oh, well, she's a state champion. They want talent. But was there more? What do they say, hey, this is why we want you here?
Well, I definitely say is because they actually have a consistency of getting kids from the school.
Okay.
They had some track kids from here, and they always say they always love Hazleton kids because they fit right in. So I don't know, we just kind of fit.
Okay, why do you think Hazleton kids fit into Bucknell?
I'd definitely say two things. I'd say the weather.
Okay.
We're used to that weather, and also because of the fact that no matter the circumstances, environmental or in your own self, we always try and persevere.
What do you want to study? What do you want to do?
Actually, I did change it from last
Okay,
year.
so
I'm doing English literature and education.
Really interesting. So do you want to teach English one day? Is
Yes.
that the road you're going down?
Yeah, I'm thinking either high school or college. All my life, I've always loved reading, but this year, I'd say definitely one of my teachers actually inspired me. My English teacher, actually. Can I say her name?
Yeah,
Her
absolutely.
name's Jamie Bell. She definitely inspired me. She's an amazing teacher because she not only taught English literature well, but she always involved our students and honestly cared about everybody in the class. So I'd definitely say she inspired me to become a teacher.
So you had a teacher change your life. You kind of want to do the same for
Yeah.
another generation?
Yes, I would hope so.
Coach told me as well, I said, it must be nice to have someone like Abbey where you have the younger kids on the team say, hey, here's someone, look at with this will, with this focus, look what she was able to accomplish. And he said, you know what, there's going to be a junior high track meet tomorrow and Abbey will be there being an official. Why? Is it just because you like being around the sport? Is it being around the younger kids? I mean, you want to be a teacher. Why do you do that?
I'd say, well, two different reasons probably. One, because I love the sport. I've always said it, like, before I decided to be a teacher, I always said that I'd probably come back here one day and be a track coach. I've always wanted to do that, but also just to help the kids as well. A lot of them have so much interest in it, and I just want to be able to help them as much as I can.
Do you get a kick out of it too sometimes? I think you're a senior now. Do you look and think, they have so much fun ahead of them, or think, wait until they see what they're in for?
Yeah, definitely, because the middle school experience and what the training was and watching them go through, and they're like, this is so much fun. And then I'm like, just wait. And you got 4 more years of this kid. So I definitely say I do get a kick out of it.
Nice. Last thing I want to ask you, seems like you're surrounded by good teachers, great coaches. You mentioned your family as well. Do you feel that as well? I mean, you're having your parents here today mean a lot?
Yeah, having my parents here meant a lot. They've always been my #1 supporters, and they're very excited for this moment in my future. And I don't know what I would do without them. So they've been a big, huge part of my life, and I'm so thankful for having them as my parents throughout this.
Well, Abbey, thank you. You've always been so generous with your time. I appreciate it. Here with Abbey Hengst at the Hazelton Area High School, I'm Ken Kara. Sports on SSPTV News is brought to you in part by the Lehigh Valley Health Network and MMI Preparatory School. Come see what they have to offer during their exploration days. You can also schedule a visit with their admissions director. Call 570-636-1108, extension 136, or email admissions@mmiprep.org.